Hello. In this week's Torah portion, Toldot, we read about how Esau, Jacob's brother, lost his birthright. Quote, Now Jacob cooked a stew, and Esau came from the fields, and he was faint. And Esau said to Jacob, Pour into me now some of that red stuff, for I'm faint. And Jacob said, Sell me as of this day your birthright. Esau replied, Look, I'm going to die. So of what use is this to me, a birthright? And Jacob said, Swear to me as of this day. So he swore to him, and he sold his birthright to Jacob. And Jacob gave Esau bread and a stew of lentils, and he ate and drank, got up and left. And so Esau despised the birthright. Unquote. Later, their father Isaac blesses Jacob, thinking he's blessing Esau. He tells Esau, quote, Your brother came with cunning and took your blessing. And Esau said, He has deceived me twice. He took my birthright, and behold, now he has taken my blessing. Unquote. First, what is this birthright? It is a way of favoring one son over the others. The Torah tells us that the son with the birthright inherits a double portion of his father's estate, becomes head of households, and has some additional religious duties. The birthright automatically goes to the firstborn son. Jacob and Esau were twins, but Esau came out first, making him the firstborn. Our passage raises many questions. First, why did Esau not want his birthright, even despise it? Why didn't he ask a higher price for it than a plate of lentils? If he was really dying of hunger, would Jacob charge him for food? Wouldn't his parents have food for him anyway? Was the sale legal? The Talmud says that if Esau was hungry, he would not have to pay such a high price. If Jacob had the birthright, why did he also need his father's blessing? Why did Esau complain that he was deceived when everything was above board? The Torah says Esau ate, drank, got up, and left. If he sold the birthright under duress, we would expect some regret after he ate, but we hear none of that. Was Esau just dumb, and therefore did not deserve the birthright? Let's see if we can answer these questions. The Talmud paints Esau as the very epitome of wickedness. Quote, Rabbi Yochanan said, That wicked man Esau committed 5 sins on that day. He dishonored the betrothed maiden, he committed a murder, he denied God, he denied the resurrection of the dead, and he spurned the birthright. We know that he dishonored a betrothed maiden because it is written here, and Esau came in from the fields, and it is written in another place, in connection with the betrothed maiden, he found her in the fields. We know that he committed murder because it is written here that he was faint, and it is written in Jeremiah, Woe is me, for my soul faints before the murderers. We know that he denied God because it is written here, What benefit is this to me? And it is written in Exodus, This is my God, and I will make him an habitation. We know that he denied the resurrection of the dead because he said, Behold, I'm going to die sooner or later. We also know that he spurned the birthright because it is written, So Esau despised his birthright. Unquote. Maybe the sage's enmity stems from the fact that Esau, Edom, is traditionally viewed as the progenitor of Rome, who was oppressing Israel when the Talmud was compiled. The Midrash, written at the same time as the Talmud, adds more faults to Esau. Quote, As we have learned, on that day he sold his birthright. On that day when he sold his birthright, Esau the wicked committed the 5 transgressions we listed above. Moreover, he longed for the death of his father and sought to slay his brother, as it is said, Let the days of mourning for my father be at hand, then I will slay my brother. He caused Jacob to flee from his father's home, and he also went to Ishmael to learn of his evil ways and to get more wives. As it is said, So Esau went to Ishmael and added to the wives he already had, Mahalat, the daughter of Ishmael, Abraham's son. Unquote. On that day, Midrash continues, Esau murdered Nimrods, the king of Babel. Nimrod was seeking to slay Esau on account of the garment which had belonged to Adam and which Esau now possessed. For whenever he put it on and went out into the fields, all the beasts and birds of the world would come in and flock around him. Esau asked Jacob, "What is the purpose of this stew you're cooking?" Jacob replied, "I made it because that old man Abraham has died." Mourners ate a meal of comfort after the funeral. Esau exclaimed, "Has judgment overtaken that righteous man? Then there is no reward and no resurrection." Unquote. More from the Midrash. The sages said in Rabbi Simon's name, Abraham lived only 175 years and Isaac 180. Why the difference? God withheld 5 years from Abraham's life because Esau had sexual relation with the betrothed maiden without her consent and committed murder, and God did not want Abraham to know this. Rabbi Berechiah and Rabbi Zakkai the elder said he also stole, based on a play on words. Said the Holy One, blessed be he, I made a promise to Abraham, assuring him, but you shall go to your fathers in peace. You shall be buried in a good old age. Is this a good old age when he sees his grandson practicing idolatry with his pagan wives, sexual immorality and murder? Better that he should depart this world in peace. Resh Lakish said, Esau began to revile God and blaspheme by saying not, what is this birthright to me, but what is this to me? Ze li. This teaches that he denied God, of whom it is written, this is my God, Ze Eli. Ze Eli in both places. Why was Jacob so eager for the birthright? Because we learned that before the tabernacle was erected, sacrifices could be offered at private altars in high places, and the sacrificial service was performed only by the firstborn. But after it was erected, the high places were forbidden, and the sacrificial service was performed only by priests. So Jacob said, shall this wicked man stand and offer the sacrifices? This is why he strove so ardently to obtain the birthright. From where do we know that God agreed to the sale of the birthright? Because it is written in the Torah, so said Hashem, my firstborn is Israel. Rashi says that Esau was afraid of the consequences of not properly fulfilling the religious duties of the firstborn. He writes, Esau said to Jacob, what is the nature of this service to God? Jacob replied, there are many prohibitions and punishments and death penalties involved with it. As we learned, those performing the temple service who have imbibed wine or who have not cut their hair are liable to death. He, Esau, said, behold, I am going to die because of this birthright. If so, why should I want it? And Esau despised the birthright. The Torah attests to his wickedness in that he despised the service of God. Unquote. There are, however, many opinions in favor of Esau. First, the Lubavitcher Rebbe points out that the Torah says, Isaac loved Esau because he ate of his venison, but Rebekah loved Jacob. Unquote. And asks, if Jacob represents good and Esau evil, how can Isaac prefer Esau? He answers that Esau wanted to go to bad things so he could transform them into good, to go to evil and struggle with it to conquer it. The Midrash says, the Torah says, and the children struggled within Rebekah during her pregnancy with the twins Jacob and Esau. This means that when she stood near synagogues or schools, Jacob struggled to come out. But when she passed idolatrous temples, Esau eagerly struggled to come out. He interprets this to mean that while in the womb, Esau struggled to emerge when he sensed evil, because he wanted to change it from bad to good. Jacob, on the other hand, wanted to go to goodness to make it better. Isaac thought Esau's approach was better than Jacob's. But alas, Esau succumbed to evil and became evil himself. So the transformation from evil to good had to come from Jacob. Note that the Lubavitch movement goes to Jews who are less observant to make them more observant in the spirit of Esau, while other Hasidim stay within their own good communities to make them even better in the spirit of Jacob. Second, Esau is highly praised for honoring his father. The Midrash tells us, quote, Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel said, "All my life I attended to my father's needs, yet I did not do for him 1/100 of what Esau did for his father. I used to attend to my father in soiled garments, and go out in the street in clean ones. But when Esau attended to his father, he attended upon him in royal robes, for he said, only royal robes befit my father's honor." Unquote. The Zohar, the book of Jewish mysticism, adds, quote, "Rabbi Yesa said, it is written, a son honors his father, and a servant his master. Such a son was Esau, for there was not a man in the world who showed as much honor to his father as he did, and it is thanks to this fact that he obtained dominion in this world. Indeed, Esau is the progenitor of Rome." Unquote. Third, Ibn Ezra in the Ramban from 12th century Spain notes that when Esau says, "Look, I'm going to die, so of what use is this birthright to me?" he means he will probably die before his father, because he is a hunter, and a hunter faces many dangers every day. He's not talking about dying of hunger, but about his low life expectancy, which means he thinks it is unlikely he will ever enjoy the birthright. This makes sense. Fourth, Rashbam and Radak from 12th century France say that Jacob did not take the birthright in exchange for a plate of lentils, but purchased the birthright with a fair amount of money. The meal was simply to seal the deal, as was the custom in those days. Fifth, Abravanel and Shadal point out that there is no evidence in the Torah that Jacob ever received any inheritance from his father. He leaves home empty-handed. In the Torah he says, quote, "With only my staff I passed over this Jordan River." Unquote. He then becomes independently wealthy after 20 years of hard work in Laban's house. Sixth, Ibn Ezra teaches that Esau belittled the birthright because its monetary value was low. At that point, his father Isaac was poor. Seventh, Dr. Avigdor Bonchek, author of What's Bothering Rashi, wonders why the Torah uses the extreme expression, "Esau despised his birthright." Indeed, Esau was raised in Isaac's home while Abraham was still alive, so surely he learned right and wrong from them. But he argues, a teenager rebels with force and passion, not with thought and moderation, when he abandons his heritage. So as a defense mechanism, Esau had to strongly belittle the birthright to still his conscience. Finally, Heiskouni from 13th century France argues that Esau was not fundamentally evil, but lived only for the moment, a slave to his physical desires. My conclusion is that Esau probably sold the birthright to Jacob for a fair price. Esau was willing to sell because the monetary value of the birthright was low anyway, and it carried responsibilities, religious and non-religious. Esau was simply uninterested in those responsibilities and unsuited for them. Shabbat Shalom.